I think it is high time for the Fulani tribes to evacuate any position in this country that has to do with our security. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not doing this video to instigate hatred in a particular tribe or to paint them black. What am I trying to point out? It is a very good observation that I would like all Nigerians to make. It is hardly to see a Fulani elite or a Fulani elder statesman that sees the criminal activity being carried by the Fulani bandits, Fulani kidnappers, and all the criminal elements that come from the Fulani tribes as criminality or terrorism. It is hardly. They can neither convert it into a movement, or they can neither sympathize with them, or they can neither convert it into a freedom fighting. That is their own perception of that criminal act. But with all indication, if someone attack and armless civilians, unalive them, set their property ablaze, what it is called? What is it called? It is criminality or neither terrorism. But the Fulani elite did not see it that way. It is only us that did not come from the Fulani tribe that sympathize with the victim of such acts. But most of the Fulani elite in the northern part of Nigeria or in Nigeria can hardly condemn this act and see it as a criminality. And that is why I said it is very necessary for the Fulani to evacuate any position that has to do with our security. From the Senate, any committee on security, if a Fulani man is heading it, please, it should be dissolved. From the National Assembly, any committee in security. Why? Because from their words, they show so much favoritism to the acts of their brothers. By justifying it, neither they are being, maybe they are being cheated, or rather being claimed that they are being unjustified by others, or neither justifying their action, it is a revenge. That is how the Fulani elite are seeing this criminality going in this country. That's just the honest truth. So it is high time Nigerians stood their ground and speak to the presidency to evacuate the Fulani from any political position that has to do with security. Because this criminal acts of this Fulani banditry, kidnapping, abducting of people, asking for ransom, have do more harm to Nigerians than the civil war. But most of us can tell the fate of the Igbo after the Nigerian civil war. They no longer hate top position. But what is happening in the case of the Fulani? But in my own case, one tribe is favored over the other in this country. Nobody can talk to them. They come publicly to show their action, to show like they are the backbone or pioneers behind all this terrorism that they are gullibles and criminals brothers in the bush doing. If most of you have come across the video of the former governor of Zamfara State and the current Minister of State Defense, Bello Matawali, he speaks so much with so favoritism in the favor of our perpetrators, which are our attackers, our criminal element in this country who want to set this country or cause division in this country. It is because of them that come along with the issue of the Christian genocide. They can neither justify their action by saying that they are victims of some circumstances, that they are in a vengeance mission. This is what the Fulani elite have been saying earlier to justify their action. And in most times, they speak with more favoritism to those criminal elements than those who are being victimized by those criminal elements. Today we have different IGP camps in this country as a result of their activity. But it is hardly for their elder statesmen to have conscience to see what these people are doing is wrong, or they have do more damage to this country. Neither they go further to justify their action. Most of the Nigerians can tell the fate of the Biafrans after the Nigerian Civil War. But these people have do more harm to this country. At the end of the day, we cannot build a very good security architecture with the Fulanis having sympathy for their brothers. with the Fulani having favoritism with their brothers. Because directly or indirectly, they are energizing, they are supporting, they are fueling the activity of those banditry and kidnappers. Nowhere in the world, even the blind man can define this criminal act as a criminality. You adopt people, you demand for ransom, and if ransom is not being paid on time, you unalive the person. What can we call this? On regular basis, they launch attack on armless Nigerian civilians, unalive them, set their property ablaze. What can we call this act? But the elder statesman don't see this as a criminality, neither as a terrorism act. They can still go further to bargain and said, let the federal government negotiate with them the way they negotiate with the people of the Niger Delta. Since the elder statesman are speaking on behalf of them as who? As the leader of the movement, we don't know. We don't know.
At this point in time, the Fulanis have no option rather than to integrate into the society. What I mean by integrating into the society is just basically the fact that they must abandon their old ways, because every other person have abandoned his old ways in the spirit of civilization, in the spirit of democracy. So there's no reason why you people must not abandon that. And you know, I'm not saying this from a point of hate in regards to the Fulanis or whatever. But what I'm just basically trying to say is that gone are the days where you have a Fulani moving up and down helter-skelter, carrying his cattle, grazing in wherever he feels like grazing. Though there's a government policy that is in line, but the fact is, you need to integrate. And what I mean by integration is, the world is a global village now. It's no more about people keeping up to their culture. Because part of the excuses people keep giving is the fact that this is people's culture. I heard a lot of governors actually saying that this is the culture of these people and you can't deprive them of their culture. But the last time I checked, a lot of people in the spirit of civilization and democracy have been deprived of their culture. Just like I was seeing today, a masquerade was arrested in Akwa Ibom for disturbing public peace. So going by that now, a masquerade is not supposed to be arrested now. A masquerade is supposed to allow to walk freely. In short, when a masquerade comes out, people are not supposed to come out. But this time around, it's the police that is arresting a masquerade. So that is why I am saying that they need to let go of their old methodologies, old ways of living, and embrace this liberality, integrate into the society. And what I mean by integration is basically the fact that gone are the days you move around helter-skelter. Gone are the days you go and settle in places that you are unaccounted for. What I'm just trying to say is, wherever you are going to settle, you have the resources to acquire land, to acquire whatever you need. You are rich. Acquire it and make your presence known to the local leaders of the community that entertains you. And in places that you are even origin or you are indigent to, there's no problem, but still, you still need to acquire a place for your own. And gone are the days people stay in the bush anymore. It's only animals that stay in the bush nowadays. So people don't stay in the bush anymore. I'm saying this in regards people making excuses for the Fulanis in regards this is their culture, they have been neglected or whatever. Everybody has been neglected, right? So the fact is, you must integrate into the society. Be accounted for so that the government can even, despite the fact that there's even no adequate budget that covers everybody, but at least let people know of your existence, right? At this point in time, actually, if I must tell you the truth, there's no option. Because when you even look at the Hausa rebellion that is coming against you people, that is a big thing. And the fact that the dynamic is changing, seriously. There's no option at this point in time. So, seriously, this is a good message so that when things start happening, when people start retaliating out of proportion, you won't be crying victim. Be responsible, integrate into the society, identify yourself, and do what civilized people do, right? That is the one point I have to address now. The second point I want to address is the fact that, make I even talk this one. Well, the fact is, I'll have to commend our dear president. He's gradually becoming a dear president. But the fact is, there's still much to do. This still doesn't stop us from stating the obvious and the reality. But the last time I checked, I'm actually beginning to understand your predicament, because last, the way I see him, all this while, it be like say even our president need help. But at least, thank God help is here. Abi? So do more. And I'm telling you, sincerely speaking, we'll put our life on the line for you in regards to your second ambition. Because if we must tell ourselves the truth, I must commend the fact that you are making some daring moves and you are listening. And as old as you are, seriously, we must commend that the brain still they work. Abi? But it's just one thing that baffles me is I don't know why it took this so much pressure for you to now see reasons to do things the right way. We want to have a country we are proud of. That anywhere you go, you can say, I'm a Nigerian. When people see you, they say, wow. And that is all we want. So kudos to you, Mr. President. We will not discredit you completely at this point in time. We will be making objective criticism. And I hope you will keep your ears open to listen.
Fulani. Now, let me tell you, I'm not going to insult anybody, but I just want to ask some necessary questions and say some things that Nigerians should have been asking. Let me say it. Now, in Nigeria today, one of the most respected men in the northern region of Nigeria is the Sultan of Sokoto. Yes. That is because he's a very respected monarch. Not just that, he is the king of Islam in Nigeria today. He's one man that whatever that concerns Islam in Nigeria in general, this man has a very strong say. Believe it or not. Now, the question I want to ask is this. Sultan of Sokoto have actually been around all this while this insurgency thing have been going on. And as a respected monarch in Nigeria, as a respected monarch in the northern region of Nigeria, as the #1 man of Islam in Nigeria, why has he not been able to say anything pertaining this thing that is happening in Nigeria? This insurgency. Me, in my own belief, I believe that Sultan of Sokoto can be able to call for a hold of this particular thing to stop. I believe. Because he's a very respected person. And a lot of people are following him. They believe in him. They believe in what he says. Because of the belief they practice together. Islam. Now, going further, he is somebody that if today he cough, that something goes wrong, thousands of youth in the north will rally around him. And they will say, this one is our own. And they will try to see how they can actually make things work out because of his influence. Why has this man not come out to condemn this particular act that is taking people's life every day? Unaliving people. The thing have left the north now. The Fulani herdsmen have left the north. They are entering other region of the country. You people are coming out to keep quiet like nothing happened. Sir, with all due respect, sir, you have the capacity. If you see this video, I know you have the capacity to talk to the northern youth, to actually see how they can curb this menace that this Fulani herdsmen and other terrorist group using Islamic as a decoy to perpetrate their evil act. Except if you people support this thing full time. That is why you will not say anything. I did not say anything more than this. I just asked some questions. People know I don't know much. Just said a little I know. Thank you.
Bello Matawali, he speaks so much in the favor of the terrorist. He speaks so much in the favor of the criminal element. What these people are trying to do, they are trying to convert this criminality into a freedom movement or into a freedom fighting. Because how can you tell us as a current Minister of State Defense that someone who have already taken arms into his hand Someone who have already taken law into his hand. We have police station, we have the court of law. They did not take their issue there. They decided to take arms and take law into their hands. Unaliving, attacking armless Nigerian civilians, set them ablaze, unalive them in regular basis. That is not all of them are criminal. Why? Because they are in a revenge mission. They were being unjustified by a vigilante group which he make mention of Ensakai, and they are now want to take action. How can somebody you install as a minister of state defense, you expect him to mobilize the army and make them resilient to chase out criminality out of the country? But he is here justifying the action of the criminal, saying that they are in a revenge mission and we are looking at them.
Welcome back. I think it is now time for everybody now to start calling on Bola Tinubu to start watching the behavior of the elite of the Fulanis who are occupying the seat of the security personnel, because it is the same them that are coming out to justify the unjustifiable activities of the Fulani youth. If you notice, that is why, as you can see here, those guys that are talking here, they're just talking out of what they have experienced. They're just talking out of it. You cannot tell me that it is someone that sponsored these guys that are talking here. These guys talking here, they are from the north too. They are living with the elite that we're talking about here. So nobody can tell anybody that this thing is part of a fabrication. This thing is not fabrication, since it is the same them that are saying it. And I would like every one of you to start it up as these guys have already started. Because we cannot just keep sleeping. No, we cannot keep sleeping. Even though we know that some few of them are not in support of all these things happening, most of them are in support. So we cannot just keep on watching the elite of the Fulani to keep using Nigeria, to keep using Nigerians' lives to play their own politics and earn their money, because they have been doing this for so long. That is what they have done during Obasanjo. When Obasanjo was the president, you know how everything works during him. Although he's someone who is very, very strong, he knows how to play his own game too. Although he knows to fall for them. The only part I can tell you that he fought for them is that part of Sharia that he had accepted when he was there. That is the only part I can tell you. If not, he tried as much as he can, or as much as he could, to make sure Nigeria gain whatever thing they want. He was the one who even make us to have access to what we are doing today on this line. You hearing us now, it is Obasanjo and the work he had done that's even making you to be hearing us from your home. Because if you are not done or bring out this telephone for us, there is no way we'll be sharing what we are doing today. So I would like our current president now to start following the step of Obasanjo, so that we could get some small freedom. Because it don't tell we say me really talk self. It don't tell I don't experience small freedom, because it look as if to even go out they fear me, because everything now don't do somehow for this country. It don't do somehow, because nobody go fit come out say you won't go farm, go do work. Nobody go fit come out say you won't travel. Nobody. He just make this country just be bored. That's what it be. And people where they cause all this thing now, the elite. So you hearing us now, we know that if you get everything you want, let us know too. If you get anything where you want, let everybody know. Make it drop what you get to talk below. And also, if today is the first time you're coming, kindly like, share, subscribe. Thank you.